Welcome back, commanders and friends, and today we're going to be looking at the biggest part of the brand new 12.3 update, which is going to be the Info Warfare Hub. Now, this is kind of a brand new network system that kind of incorporates a tech style upgrading, but at the same time it's different as to it shares buffs between your air units and your ground units. So with regards to that, let's jump in and talk about it. So we're going to start off here with basically not going through everything, because as you can see, there is so much to go through, so much wording, and I'll kind of break it down and give you the key main things that I think is going to be the most important. But I will go back and cover all of this as well, but in a more easier and simplified way for you to understand it easier. So with that being said, guys, the Airspace Control is basically where a new attribute that allows you to upgrade your units. The way this works is the more you upgrade and do your tech, the more you're going to upgrade your airspace control. And when your airspace control goes up, the higher airspace control you have, the more damage and damage resist and stuff you will have against your enemies. And within that limit, there is also, if you have a look here, a 70% shared airspace control. What this means is whatever number you have currently, obviously, as I mentioned, the more you upgrade your actual level to go up to a higher level, the more you're going to end up gaining on your total airspace control. Now, the way this works, guys, is you will give 70% of your number to your allied members, and the allied members fighter planes, that is. And the way these fighter planes work is as long as you are within range of this unit, so as you can see, there's the grid around my fighter. As long as you are within this grid, you're also going to gain that shared amount. But on top of this shared amount, guys, as I mentioned before, it is shared to a 70%. Now, with regards to this, guys, if you know someone in your alliance that is a WoW, they spend a lot of money, you know they're going to upgrade it a lot, you might want to put your fighter near their fighter, because that way you're actually going to end up gaining even more than what you probably currently have if you're a free-to-play player or a very low spender compared to them. One thing as well is if you are sharing fighter plane benefits, it's only going to count the person with the highest amount. So let's just say you've got 700 and they have 800. You're only going to end up gaining the highest amount within that limit. I have also gone out and asked the devs individual questions relating to this so that I had a better understanding to help you guys understand more, because you can see all of this stuff on screen, but what does it mean? And some things just don't explain that very well, and I've gone and spoke to them and we've got the response. So starting off, guys, we have the hangars. You choose whichever hangar you want to use. Now, one thing it doesn't say in any of this information is what hangar do you use, and does it matter on the level of your hangar? So as we know, you have levels to each of your buildings, that being level 32 being the highest, and it goes from 1 to 32. So I asked them, does it matter whether my hangar that's being used for this certain situation is, say, level 20, level 28, level 32? Does that impact the buff or the bonus? And it does not. So if you have a weak hangar, then you should definitely think about instantly using that hangar as the hangar that's going to be used for this buff, because that does not matter. As long as there is a hangar assigned to it, it doesn't matter the level, it's always going to be the same, whatever the buff is, depending on the research. Now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to chuck some fighter planes in here. And then, for example, I'm also going to chuck a bomber in here and just show you guys the difference between the two. So let's just say we have, you know, 2 fighters and a bomber. Let me go back into here for you and kind of show you how it works. So you could switch to whatever you want to use, but the bomber will not work for it. So it has to be a fighter plane that is in. Now, not only does it not matter what hangar you use, whether it be level 1 to 32, but also the unit inside of the hangar doesn't matter whether you're using a 5-star fighter or if you're using a 9.2 fighter. So that means any old fighter that you have that is sitting around can just sit in there in an empty hangar and it will work for this, which means you're then still able to use your active fighters in the actual field. So let's jump back in here and I'll show you now. So we have 2 numbers on screen. You can see the big 140 and you can see the small 98. Now, the way this works, guys, is the airspace control is your overall number for the upgraded levels. So let me show you what I mean by this. Now, obviously, I've already done it here to get an understanding myself, but we'll start here fresh for you on this one. Now, you have one free compute per day, and this will reset at, reset time. The way this works is you get one free compute to do the boost, and that is it. Now, if you say don't log on for 2 or 3 days, they do not stack, so you need to log in every day to do this. Now, the next thing here is, as you can see, data processing. It takes 5 of these to be able to do a level, so we're going to do a quick 5%, and as you can see, it's going up. Now, the more we process this, the more we are getting this information. Now, this information, guys, does in fact count towards all of your units within this camp. So, as you can see here, the Camp Liberty Training, the Camp Liberty Firepower, and the Base Firepower is all under the Liberty Offense. If I went to Liberty Defense, you're going to see Liberty Garrison Recovery Rate, Liberty Garrison HP, and Base HP. So, all of this is going to be within each different category, and there are 6 different categories. So with that being said, it is obviously going to take a lot of research to go through all of these. I don't actually know what the max amount of levels is, if I'm honest with you. I haven't gone through to check that, but maybe that's something we can do at the end of the video. As you can see right now, guys, we do have in fact the ability to just keep going up, because obviously I've got unlimited amount of these, but the way to actually gain these is a very important thing. So the way to gain them right now, as you can see over here, there is going to be VIP. Now the VIP store does in fact have these available, so if I scroll down, I'll be able to show you. You can see here you can get 10 of these per week, and they only actually cost the actual military funds. We also have the compute chips, which I'll show you again in a minute. This is also for funds, but I believe down here you also have them for gold, so you can also buy the compute chips and the compute cards for gold as well. And obviously the further you go down, the more you can get. Now all the way down here, which I believe this is like VIP, probably like 24 or 25, so us normal people are not going to be able to afford these, unfortunately. But this here is an amplifier module, which I'll show you what that is in a while, and this is only the small one. Other than that, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to be you have to pay for them, but again, I do want to try and give you as much information as accurately as possible. But the real answer is I don't know about those 100%. Now with this, obviously you can keep upgrading your level to go through and be able to upgrade your individual things. So for example, you got officer skill, officer damage, and normal attack. Now you have something called data mining. Now data mining is slightly different. So what data mining is, it's very similar to, how can I best explain it? If you know the event that came out fairly recently, it comes out every couple of months or so. I forgot the name of it, I do apologize, but it's the thing where you can spin it and you can get discounts on, say, resources, coupons and stuff like that. You can get like 30% off and things like that. Now when you spin it, obviously it's a random chance of what you're going to get. If you don't want it, it still uses up to all of that coin, but you can keep spinning that Fortune's Favor, I believe it's called, and you can eventually get some sort of favors for free. So the way this works is very similar. I can do a data mine for 5 chips and it can give me an upgrade, and then I'm going to save it and it uses those chips. Or I could do it again, and as you can see, everything's an upgrade. This is amazing. I'm going to use the 5 chips. But now if I use it, this one's not so good, and it's actually not going to be beneficial. I am going to lose out on some statistics, so I'm going to cancel it. But it's still going to use 5 computing chips. So take that as it may be. Obviously, you do need to make sure that whenever you're upgrading, you've got to be careful not to always save, because you could end up downgrading your overall tier bonus, okay? So you're going to want to keep doing it. Maybe you want to compromise, you want more damage intensity, but you are going to lose out on the officer skill damage here. This is like your general overall or metric, so obviously it's still staying at 100 because I'm gaining, but I'm losing at the same time. So obviously we're going to save that there. Now if we do it again, you'll see that nothing has actually changed, so we just wasted 5 chips. So it's not a guaranteed thing. It's more of a, you know, you might do get it better, you might get worse. So that again is just to boost the overall abilities of what's available. So yeah, basically you see here 0.32 plus 0.32, and that's just how it works. It's, I can go through here. Now this is going to go all the way up to 1, and then this is also going to go up, but this is going to go down. But overall, I think that that is a much better opportunity. But again, your airspace control goes at the lowest number. So whatever your lowest number is what it's going to be set at. So this technically will go down to 50 because the fact that it's a level 1, but we are gaining elsewhere. So next time we do it, we might be able to see a bit of a boost. So we can see here 3, 4, 3, and now, you know, it's compromising, but we're going to see a bit of improvement, which means now we have 150 airspace control. So if we go back, you'll see here that we are getting these boosts coming in. Now, I mentioned to you about the modules. Obviously, I have unlimited amount of these, but to be able to get them, you can see here to get them, you have to disassemble medium ones, which I don't know why you'd want to disassemble a medium one to get this one. Doesn't make sense. But Operation Spy Capture is going to be one way of getting this item. Operation Athena, Distract and Destroy, the VIP Data Flux gift, and Nodule gift. So these are the ways you get them. As we already know, Spy Capture, Athena, Distract and Destroy are events we already do, and they're going to be included in it. So if I go over to this one, for example, it's going to show me that the only way to get these, by the looks of it, is assembling 6 smaller ones. So once I get 6 smaller ones, I can make a bigger one, okay? And then finally over here, we've got the large modules. To make this one, you need 6 medium ones to make the large one. Now, what the difference is this will boost both the basic and advanced metrics by 20% for 30 days. And then also this one is 40% and this is 60%. So if I do the 30%, for example, I'll use that now. You're going to see an increase over here. I can actually press this button here. You can't see it on my screen. Actually, I'm going to hide my camera just for 2 seconds to show you. Down the bottom left here, you have the show the values. And basically, this is with it on. Quickly put my camera back on. So you can see this is what the boosted values are. But if I remove it, it shows you what you would normally be getting without that boosted effect. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, as I said, this is obviously something you can do. So there's 20%. Now I'm going to show you guys what 40% is, and then again I can show you guys what 60% is. So basically it just boosts the amount you're getting in total, which is honestly really, really good. But again, it's going to take a long time probably to get those larger ones, so for the meantime you're probably going to be stuck with the smaller ones to start off with. Now, as I mentioned to you guys, each individual one is separate. So the Vanguard Division Firepower, the Vanguard Troop Training Speed, the base Firepower, and then you've also got these advanced metrics here. You've got obviously the Officer Skill Boost, the Damage Intensity, the Normal Attack Boost. All of this, guys, is going to be for every single unit within the camp that it's specific for. So all of this will be for Vanguard. And then up here, all of this will be for Liberty. Now, obviously, the level cap at the moment, it does say up here, is level 20. Basically, the cap for each of these levels is level 20, and the tier is level 7. Now, the tiers is obviously when you go through here to do the data mining. That's how you understand the tiers. So the tiers is here. And this is going to be, I think it's every like 3 months. So yeah, Operation Network across all servers are upgraded every 180 days. This process is known as a system update. So basically every 6 months, this will get upgraded. So right now, the level cap is 20 and then the tier cap is 7. So I'm assuming in another 6 months time, it's going to be maybe level cap of 40, tier cap of 14, something like that. It might not double. Maybe it'll go to level 30, you know, level 10, something like that. But I do assume that because it's every 6 months, it'll probably go up by like another 20 levels. It might double its power sort of thing. So that's basically how this whole thing works. And I wanted to give you the most, you know, in-depth option available to understand this instead of me just going through reading it all, because we'd be here all day just sitting here reading this and it might not make too much sense. Also, I should probably let you guys understand and know this, but gold 3 doesn't actually get anything. So if you're in gold 3 or below, you do not get any of these bonuses basically. This is only if you are in gold 2 or above. So again, it's dedicating to those higher level players. They're trying to get more people to go up into the higher levels because there's new tech available for them people. I kind of wanted to make this video as easy as possible to understand this whole new sort of stat and level thing, because at the end of the day, it can get quite confusing. But up the top here, we do have a stat breakdown. You can see absolutely everything. So the damage intensity, officer skill boost, normal attack boost, and as you can see, these stats are already pretty decent. Like, you're getting an extra 2% skill damage already, and they're almost 2% extra damage in general. These stats go up pretty quick, but you got to remember when I'm doing this, I am also doing 5 at a time. So it could take time to actually gain these data processing. I don't know 100% how long it takes to get these because I have an unlimited amount. So I'm not actually physically able to tell right now at this very moment in time how to get a hold of these because I have them available. So I'm assuming if you only have like 1 or 2, it will show you. Obviously, we can see already that I can get like 10 or 20 a week in the VIP store. So even then, upgrading it 4 times is still going to be a decent amount, even if there's no other ways of getting it other than spending money. So as always, guys, if you have any questions about this, please let me know down below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. But overall, guys, I think it's kind of cool. It's a new thing. I think it's going to take a very long time to be able to go through and get all of them because obviously each single one is individual. So let's just say I've done nothing in here so far. I know I can do at least 20 a week. So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I got to level 2. We didn't exactly gain a crazy amount. And I know I can guarantee do that in a week because obviously on the VIP store, we can see that I'm able to do that per week. And then over here in the data mining, I also saw that we can get like 10 of these a week, I think it was. So let's just do 5, 10. There it is. So again, nothing crazy. It's not going to be something that's going to be instant. It's going to take a while. I'm sure that there's going to be obviously ways to buy extras one of these if you want to, but I appreciate obviously everyone tuning into this video. I hope it's been a lot more easy to understand than me reading through it. Let me know, do you prefer that? Would you rather me read through the things and just explain it all, or would you rather me have, you know, design the video so that it's just easier to follow and I'm just kind of giving you guys all the information? As always, I appreciate all your feedback. Thank you so much for being so amazing. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.